You're watching NorthState Health, the North State's first local health program.
Good afternoon, I'm Tim Mapes. Thank you for joining us for NorthState Health, the only show dedicated to bringing you the information you need to live a healthier and also a happier life. Our guest today is Dr. Ray Powell from Physicians Plan Weight Management. And Dr. Powell, always glad to have you with us.
Great to have me. Thank you.
Let's start out for the benefit of our viewers, just talking a little bit about your experience, how long you've been in the North State, and then we'll talk about your practice as well.
Well, I moved here in 2001 with my family from South Carolina, and I'm an emergency medicine doctor, but I also really delved into full-time into weight management about 2003, working with my father. And it became kind of a labor of love with my own issues with weight. And I really became additionally involved in going into bariatric medicine and then as a physician nutrition specialist. So we've been doing full-time bariatric and weight management for a good 10 years.
Okay, and you have a number of certifications as well?
Right, exactly. And so the board certifications are where you do a lot of training additionally in emergency medicine, which I worked at Mercy for quite a while, and then in bariatric medicine, and then as the physician nutrition specialist. And there's only 44 of those in California.
Oh, wow.
And I'm the only one north of UC Davis for that.
All right. Well, Dr. Powell, we are glad to have you in the North State. Let's talk a little bit about Physicians Plan Weight Management. The name itself is telling, so kind of go into that a little bit.
The weight management is the key term. It's not weight loss. I deal with patients that need to gain weight. I have extreme athletes that I deal with, as well as severely sick people that are on chemotherapy, for cancer, as well as liver and kidney transplant patients. So we're really dealing with their weight and managing it to either keep it off or to gain weight or to lose weight.
Okay, and one thing that is really unique about Physicians Plan Weight Management is you have a store that some people in the North State may be familiar with.
Right, it's called CarbEssentials, and we even have it online at CarbEssentials.net, and it's become a labor of love where we've really looked for things that are unique products that we have them customized for patients' nutritional needs like gluten-free, soy-free, lactose-free, as well as very high-quality protein supplemented foods. And so we use those with our patients to really teach them the key word that I have that I use as a curriculum, which is the SNEAL. And it's kind of my official word now. It's a registered trademark, but I use it as a curriculum to teach people how to eat. And sometimes you have to take them away from what they're doing and show them what to do, and then kind of gradually bring them back into eating grocery food and really teaching them how to make grocery food SNEALs. And that's the whole curriculum that we go through with the patients.
All right, and speaking of going through it and the patients, you can really relate to the patients. We are going to be talking about some patient success stories, but tell us what we're looking at here.
Right, this is me at 250 pounds with my now 14-year-old son, Jack. And I had a lot of issues with ankle surgeries, bad backs, back surgeries. I got injured in Desert Storm and became a disabled vet. And going through medical school and residency later in life, I ended up ballooning to 250 pounds. And I did Atkins, Sugar Busters, The Zone, Slim Fast, and I just constantly was fighting my weight, and that's when I really got into the aspect of learning how to deal with it.
Okay, so you definitely know from experience what your patients are going through. So let's talk a little bit about some of these patient success stories, and we do want everyone to know that you received permission to talk about the
These following patients that are great testimonials and amazing pictures have given me photographic release as well as their permission to use their pictures and their names.
All right, so let's walk us through. We're looking
This
at
is
Jan.
Jan is a phenomenal lady. She actually is a veterinarian tech, and she travels all over the country and does a lot of education, but she was constantly battling her weight her whole life. And she finally came into us at the prompting of some friends at her heaviest, and she really couldn't wear any kind of size clothes. She was in the double, triple X. A lot of medical issues that she really wasn't having treated because she was afraid and kind of almost embarrassed to go to a doctor. And through a span of a good 2.5, 3 years, she just really changed her entire approach to food. And believe it or not, what we had to do was get her to eat, because she was so busy that she didn't eat. And as getting her into eating, you can see the final result after about 2.5 years. And now she's been on maintenance for a good 2 years, that she's just done amazing for her health and has probably put 20 to 30 years back onto her lifespan.
All right, that is just wonderful to see. Good for Jan. And I think you hit on a topic there that you've talked about before, and it's losing the weight in the right way. I mean,
Exactly.
you do see these extreme weight losses, but
Right.
but you were saying like Jan, she did it over a period and really learned
Right.
how to eat correctly and do it right.
Exactly. We monitor them really closely, so we make sure that they're losing the right weight. You know, if you hear that Sally Joe lost 40 pounds in 30 days, guess what she's losing? She's losing muscle. So what we're doing is what are called protein sparing fasts, where we're changing their nutrition and making sure we educate them so that they keep their muscle mass and lose the fat.
Okay.
And I call that burning energy.
Okay, and you were also saying that she was so busy. One thing that people tend to forget is, you know, she was overweight, but you were saying that she was forgetting to eat,
Right.
and that can be as bad as
Exactly.
overeating, right?
Right, and so we had to teach her how to sneal. And it's got to be quick and convenient for them so they can get it through their life. Otherwise, they don't.
All right, so definitely a success story, and like you said, she's in the management phase where she comes in and sees you.
She's on
and
the maintenance. Right.
Okay. How personally gratifying is this to see somebody like Jan have a quality of life turn around?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's one where, you know, working in an emergency room, you're trying to put people kind of back on the street where you're picking them up and trying to just fix something in short term, where this is you're changing their entire lifestyle. It's one of the things that just keeps me going on it.
All right, well, it's good to hear, and I know it could encourage a lot of people out there.
Right.
Well, we're going to have some more success stories when we come back here on NorthState Health. Coming up, we're going to meet another one of Dr. Powell's patients who might just encourage you to get on the weight loss bandwagon, so stay with us. And for more information on today's topic or any edition of NorthState Health, though, you can go to our website at krcrtv.com/NorthState Health. You can watch today's episode in its entirety from your computer or laptop, so you can go there anytime. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to NorthState Health, the North State's first local health program.
Our guest today is Dr. Ray Powell from Physicians Plan Weight Management. We are talking about weight management success stories. Now, we talked about Jan in the last segment, a very inspiring story. We caught up with another one of your patients who graciously gave us permission to share her story. So let's talk about Charlene.
Charlene is, again, an amazing woman. She's a mom. She works full time. She started out with us with some major medical issues on probably 5 or 6 different medications. And she really has done an amazing job at just changing her lifestyle, making sure she's eating. She was a big sweet tooth, major chocoholic, and we really got her into a mode of just eating better quality nutrition through the day while she's working. And you can see she's in the medical field, and she just blossomed where she's dropped, got a good 20% of her weight, which is an 80% reduction in risk according to the National Institute of Health for medical conditions. So we've got a great video that says it all for her. And here it is.
Well, when I was 12 years old, I had gained a lot of weight, and I was obviously the tallest girl in class. And I had always had a struggle with the weight. I couldn't keep it off. Sometimes I was comfortable. I tried Weight Watchers, it came off, but then the minute I stopped it, it came back on. I tried to deprive myself, you know, to eat lesser, not to have the candy, but because I wasn't eating properly, I would crave it and I would binge eat afterwards because I was trying not to feed myself, and it made it worse. And with Dr. Powell's diet, it's not a diet for me, it's a life change. I learned how to eat from him and what to eat and what combinations to eat. I had just called and I said, I'm done being fat. Could you please help me? Because I gained so much weight that I was up to 258. And I had 2 babies, and I could barely do anything with them. I could barely go to work without having to hurt my body or, you know, and obviously in the pictures I look horrible. And I just went to Dr. Powell, and he is so encouraging on everything that I just lost a ton of weight right away, and it just kept coming off and coming off and coming off, and everything that you get to eat is so good. It's just, and I'm a chocoholic. That was my biggest thing, was candy. I loved it. And I just replaced it with the protein bars that he suggested, and that's what I crave now instead of candy. I haven't had a piece of candy in almost over a year. And I know that when I looked in the mirror before, you have this perception of yourself that you believe that you're thin, and you look at yourself for real and you don't see that person. That's quite a shock. Dr. Powell opened my eyes to that. He took that picture, which is the worst picture in the free world for me, but people need to see it. I weighed 258 pounds. It was unbelievable. And I was right around the corner from being bedridden to me, you know, and heart problems. And now he's gotten me off 5 out of the 7 medications that I was on, because doctors kept throwing medications at me, from the heart pills to the antacid pills. Well, you lose the weight, guess what? All the problems go away.
Well, it's always good to hear those stories from your patients and see the quality of life difference that they have. So, talk about you know how you got Charlene to that point.
Right, it's really sitting down with them one-on-one and looking at what they're doing right and wrong, and then coming up with different plans. They can't lose all this weight just doing it one way. So we go through a series of different adjustments with their nutrition and even their calorie amounts, but the key is they've got to eat. And you know, we measure a lot of measurements on them. We look at their body fat percentage, but also her waist measurement. And waist measurement we're looking at, and she's gone from well over 40 inches at the waist down below 35, and 35 inches or less measured at the belly button really reduces your risk for all the major metabolic diseases, which she said in her video, by coming off all those medication.
Okay, and so people can do that at your practice. They would come in and have those measurements.
Exactly, we do it
They
periodically.
could do at home?
They can. They can just take a tape measure and just at a normal breath, just measure right from the belly button around. And if women are 35 inches or greater, men 40 inches or greater, puts them at a very high risk for metabolic diseases.
All right, so definitely good numbers to remember there, Dr. Powell. We are going to talk about more patient success stories, very inspiring, on NorthState Health when we come back after just a 1-minute break.
Hi, I'm Hank Aaron. After playing in the major leagues for over 20 years, I've developed arthritis in my knees, a painful condition that affects more than 10 million Americans. I've dealt with aches and pains in my career, but this knee pain really made it difficult to do the things I love. After being active for so long, it was embarrassing. I talked with my doctor, and I want you to join me in the fight against arthritis at teamhank.com.
Howdy, partners. We're Billy and Patrick for Ray and Kia. Hey, where's Patrick?
Here I am, up here.
What are you doing up on that horse?
Didn't you say folks can wrangle up some big savings and get a lot of horsepower right now at Redding Kia?
Yeah, but I meant this kind of horsepower.
Like a 2013 Optima, 0% for 60 months, and a 2014 Kia Sorento, 0.9% for 60 months.
How do you get down from one of these things? Whoa, 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 whoa!
Well, that's one way.
I've never been able to maintain weight loss. I've lost hundreds of pounds in the past, only to wake up 6 months later and to have regained all the weight and more. I started out with Physician's Plan at 318 pounds. I was wearing a size 32 and busting out of that, and now I'm happy to say that I'm in a size 6, and I've been maintaining that size for 2 years. If it hadn't been for the support and expertise of the Physician's Plan staff and Dr. Powell, I don't think I would have been as successful.
I have bipolar disorder.
Hey, I'm Mark Coleman, and I do have bipolar disorder. But why do I have to whisper it? I could say I have cancer or diabetes or any other illness, and it doesn't require a whisper. Bipolar requires a whisper because it carries a stigma. And that stigma stops people from getting help. But I have good news for you. This year, the National Bipolar Foundation has been formed. Visit our website at nationalbipolarfoundation.org. We have a hope.
Welcome back. We are here with Dr. Ray Powell from Physicians Plan Weight Management. We are talking about patient success stories.
Right.
So if you need a little bit of inspiration to get yourself to get that weight managed in check, these patients will do it. So let's talk a little bit about Debra, who life catches up to you, huh?
Exactly. Debra is a sweet lady. She is a grandmother who is raising her 2 grand boys who are twins. And she stopped working to take care of them, and she just gained a tremendous amount of weight. And it was a real challenge for her because she became very emotional in this testimonial because she was doing a lot of Boy Scouts with them, and she went to do a swimming test with them, and she couldn't pass the test. And so she couldn't swim that summer with them with the Boy Scouts, and it was really devastating to her, and she felt very, very at ease about the fact that her kids were going to be embarrassed about her. And so this next testimonial we have just says it all. She's an awesome woman.
All right.
When I couldn't work, I gained a lot of weight. I mean, a really lot of weight. And one year, we went to our Boy Scout camp, and I couldn't swim with them. And my oldest daughter was on this program, so I decided it was time for me to lose weight so I could swim with my boys and do things with them. I'm so happy that my daughter told me to come here. These people have been wonderful. I can call them up, I can drop in, they're there. Biggest change in my life since I've been Dr. Powell, I'm happy. I can do things. I can eat in public without thinking somebody's looking at me like, wow, she really needs to put that in her face, you know, and not feel bad. I can go places with my boys and know they're proud of me. Even though, God bless their heart, they never told me they weren't proud of me before. They let me just the way I was, whether I was fat or skinny. But I'm healthy and skinny. I think they like it a little bit better. If I was to sum it all up, from the day I walked in to right now, the favorite thing I liked about Dr. Powell and his staff is no matter what, we're all equal. He's there for me. I have any questions, it's not too little a question. Not even, maybe it's not even a question that involves a diet. He's gonna take the time to talk to me and help me through it. That's what I like about Dr. Powell, is he is, to me, he's a person that's my friend.
Well, Deborah does not look like a grandmother, I don't think.
And she's done amazing. It's given her so much more energy. Her grandboys were actually with her there, and they were just so proud of her. And you know, she's a patient out of the Red Bluff office, and it's amazing what it's done for her life, and just giving her back her life is really what it did. And we really emphasize to him, and I think that's what she comes across with, is that she comes into us every week and weighs in, and we see these patients literally every month, sometimes even every week. And so we get a really, really good rapport. We really get to know the patient, all of their trials and tribulations, and there's good days and bad days, and we're there for them.
Like you said, you get to know these patients. Do you take a different approach with each patient? Because I mean, I'm sure there are some that come in that you really need to be a little bit more heavy-handed, and that's how they get results.
There's a fine line. I mean, everybody has different knowledge bases, and it's one where we never assume that people know everything. And some of them come in that way. They think that they know it all. And if they did, then why are they coming into me? And we have to sometimes get in their face and say, okay, whatever it is you're doing isn't working. So we've got to do something different. We have to teach them how to lose weight, or what I call burn energy first, and in the process of doing that, teach them how to keep it off.
Well,
and it's a challenge sometimes.
Well, with Deborah, I think what everybody out there can take away from this, I think, is great. The motivation to lose weight and get your weight in check is the fact that she said she's happy again. So that's the #1 thing that I think is great.
Oh yeah.
Well, we have another success story you're not going to want to miss. We're going to talk about Jennifer when we come back. So just a 1-minute break, so stay with us. Welcome back. We are here with Dr. Ray Powell from Physicians Plan Weight Management, talking about weight management success stories. And let's get right into this one. Let's talk about Jennifer.
Yeah, Jennifer is a full-time mom and a full-time employee. She really was at her heaviest, where she didn't even really recognize herself, and you'll hear this in her video. And even her kids, and even she talks about her husband, where when she's lost the weight, that he sometimes walks right by her in the store and doesn't even recognize her. So you see these before and afters, where this is again over the span of a good year, where she's just really changed her lifestyle, and now she's just stunning. And she feels so much better about herself.
Nice.
So we have a video of her talking, and she's just an incredibly articulate lady. So here's her video.
All right.
When I began coming to Dr. Powell, originally, I knew I was overweight. However, it didn't become blatantly clear to me until I'd had some successes and some failures and some life experience, and I'd lost 80 pounds, and then I gained it back after about a year, and I then had a video at work where I sang, and I saw it, and it didn't look like me at all. And so I decided I needed to do something, and I looked into gastric sleeve and gastric bypass and all these things, and those things just weren't for me. I was too many reasons why I didn't want to go under the knife. So I had some friends that were really successful with Dr. Powell, and I decided that I would give it a shot. And since then I've lost 114 pounds, and I go to the gym 5 to 6 days a week, and I'm so much healthier and happier. With Physicians Plan, I think the biggest difference that I've seen results with is there's so much support, and the people here at this office, they know you, they care about you, and when you walk in, they know your name. You're important to them. And so also with, meeting with Dr. Powell or Joni, they remember who you are, and they absolutely celebrate with you when you have these successes and you feel valued. But also they give you the tools so that you can continue this. When I'm tired of Sneals, Dr. Powell will say, well, have you tried this, and make your own Sneal from the grocery store. And so you start doing those things and it becomes easier and easier to do it. So it's not, I have to eat the same things forever. You can eat a variety of things and you can start learning how to create that. And with that, it's made me passionate about learning about nutrition and health. So I've done more research on my own. So it's just, I think I was in a better place, but also they've given me these incredible tools to do it on my own. At one point, we're looking at old videos and old pictures because we'd gone on a family vacation this summer, and we come back and we were looking at the ones from when we went before, because we went to Disneyland 2 years ago and then now. And my son's sitting with me, and we're looking at the computer, and he's 8, and he looks and he's like, Mom, who is that? And I was like, Seth, that's me. And he's like, what? That is, he couldn't believe it. He was like, wow, you've changed a lot, Mom. And for an 8-year-old to put that together, that's pretty incredible. This is a kid who, he's not the most aware, and he is just like, yep, I totally see it. So it's really cool to see that light go off for him too, and sort of have that. What I would say to somebody who's thinking about going to Physician's Plan and starting Snealing and going to CarbEssentials would be, don't wait, go now. Don't waste another month. Don't think about the short term, what you're gonna have to sacrifice or what you won't get. Instead, think of what it's gonna give you, because so much of the time you're thinking of, oh, it's expensive, or oh, I have to never eat chocolate again. I eat chocolate weekly. Let me tell you, you count it. You have it on a day when you know you can have it. You can still have all of those things. It's that you have to be shifting your mindset. So don't waste your time. Come now, do it now. Now is the time. Your life isn't gonna last forever. So you have to do it now. It's important, your health is important, and you can't put that off. You have to make yourself first.
Well, very impressive. Good job, Jennifer. And again, we want to say thank you to all of Dr. Powell's patients for allowing them to let you tell their stories.
Right, and these are not scripted. These are just their pure emotions and what they had to say.
All right. Thank you, patients, again. We are going to take a quick break and then wrap up with Dr. Powell, so stay with us. Thank you for joining us for NorthState Health. Join us each week at this time for another edition of our show. Now, for more information on our program, go to krcrtv.com/NorthState Health. There you will find information on all of our doctors, tips from the experts, and you can watch entire shows from your computer. We want to thank Dr. Ray Powell from Physician's Plan Weight Management for being here. Final minute of the show, Dr. Powell, tell the viewers out there how they may be able to get a hold of you.
Right, we have 6 offices from Wairika, Mt.Shasta, Redding, Red Bluff, and Chico. And it's easiest just to go to CarbEssentials.net for our online store and physiciansplan.net for our offices, and it's .net is the most important thing.
All right, and there you see there the CarbEssentials.net for the store, which is all of those great products that you have in the store. And where is your store located, by the way?
Right, we're in Redding, next in the Target Supercenter area, and in Redding we're on 5th and Mangrove.
Or in Chico?
In Chico, I'm sorry, yeah. We're on 5th and Mangrove.
All right, no problem. Dr. Powell, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you,
We appreciate it. I'm sure the viewers have appreciated all this time, and that you're gonna be getting some calls, I think, from those great success stories.
Sounds great.
We will see you next week at this time. So until then, have a great week.